Okay, in this class, let us study about the magnetic field due to a long bar magnet. That is same thing, that is at the axial position and equatorial position. Right now, we got this expression by comparing this bar magnet. That is, it can be considered as a magnetic dipole. By we compared this with electric dipole and we got the expressions. Right now, why I am trying to do in detail is it will help us in solving few problems, that is understanding few concepts in the next class, in the next upcoming class, where we will study about another instrument called as deflection magnetometer. That is why. Okay, so if you think you are able to derive this, feel free to derive. Now this is more of a general class for everybody. All right, so don't think that it has been covered already. Why we are considering it again like that. Okay, so if you are interested, you can watch, otherwise you can skip this video, but the results are important. It has to be there in your notes. I will be taking these results for the upcoming classes. Okay, fine. Right now, let us take a bar magnet here. Say this is the north pole and south pole. Now you need to consider the magnetic length. Right now, let us say the magnetic length is 2L. Okay, let us consider the magnetic length, that is the distance between the poles itself as the 2L. Okay, now this is the neutral point. Okay, this green point is the neutral point, you can say. Yeah, so this is the neutral point exactly in between north and south pole. All right, fine. So let us derive the magnetic field at an axial position. Okay, let us derive at an axial position. Fine. What we'll do is consider a line. Okay, so say this pink line is the axial line. All right, now I'm interested in finding magnetic field at this point P, let us say. Okay, now here we will try to use our electrostatics concept, whatever we know. Right, so electric field, so how do we write? You have a charge, electric charge, and if you are at a distance r, right, now electric field at that point, it will be given as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, which I have taken as k, q divided by r square, and it will be in the direction this way, because if you consider this as the positive charge, electric field will be at that point. Right, at that point it will be going away radially. All right, so here q we have considered as the electric charge, r is the distance. Right, now going by the same analogy here, so we can say this point P, say it is at a distance r from the center of the bar magnet. Okay, so you can consider this as O. Okay, it is at a distance r from the center of the bar magnet. Okay, so this is r. Okay, right, now let us consider the magnetic field. Okay, magnetic field due to north pole, and say the magnetic field due to north pole of the magnet. See, you know that we can associate a positive magnetic charge for north pole, right? So that is B1. Okay, now magnetic field due to south pole. Okay, magnetic field due to the south pole of the bar magnet, let us take it as B2. All right, fine. Now due to the north pole, now you know we can associate a magnetic charge QM. Okay, and for south pole we can associate a magnetic charge minus QM. Okay, now the notations what I am using here is slightly different from your Allen material. I am using M for magnetic moment, because same thing we kept using in NCERT also, right? So M for magnetic moment and QM for pole strength, otherwise magnetic charge, magnitude of the magnetic charge. All right, yeah, we'll be sticking to this notation throughout. Okay, right, now if you come back here, now the magnetic field due to the north pole, right, at point P, so it will be this way. This is the B1. Okay, and since north pole is closer to that point P, obviously magnetic field B1 will be more. Okay, now B2 will be this way, so the net magnetic field at point P, it will be B1 minus B2. Okay, now yeah, coming to the strength of this magnetic field due to north pole, right? So just like how we used to write KQ divided by R square, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, we use it for electrostatics. Now here we will use mu naught divided by 4 pi. Okay, right, then there you had Q divided by R square. Now here we will use Qm, okay, Qm stands for magnetic charge, pole strength we'll say, whole thing divided by r square. Okay, now what is this? This is actually the distance, right? Now distance is r minus L. Okay, so this distance would be r minus L. All right, fine. So let us say, so this distance is actually, this distance is r minus L. Correct? Yeah, this is actually r minus L. Otherwise I'll draw a little bit up. So this distance is r minus L. R minus L. Okay, fine. So you can say r minus L the whole square. Okay, now magnet, yeah, B2, right? So the magnitude of B2, we know the directions, we are just trying to write the magnitude. So mu naught divided by 4 pi Qm divided by, now what is the distance between point P and that south pole? So that is r plus L. Okay, so this is the distance what we get. So let me write here, this is the distance r plus L. Okay, so this is the distance what we get. Fine. Okay, so this is r plus L. Now we'll write it as r plus L the whole square. Okay, fine. So here I need to get B1 minus B2, right? So the net magnetic field at P, right? So you can say axial point, okay, B axial at P. Okay, so P is an axial point, right? So that will be given as B1 minus B2, that is on. Okay, so B1 minus B2. So technically I just have to subtract because both the vectors are in opposite directions, right? So therefore the B axial magnetic field, it can be given as mu naught divided by 4 pi Qm times r minus L the whole square minus mu naught divided by Qm, mu naught divided by 4 pi, sorry, Qm divided by r plus L the whole square. Okay, so finally you can take mu naught divided by 4 pi Qm outside. Okay, see here I did not write minus, okay, because the direction, this is actually minus itself, but the direction, right? So due to negative magnetic charge, the direction of B2 will be towards. Okay, so you can write it here also, B1. So you can say this is away from the north pole. B1, it is away from the north pole, right? So it is pointing away from the north pole. So this you can say towards the north pole. Towards the north pole. Okay, fine. So direction, the information on direction is has already been considered when I drew the arrows here, right? So B1 is towards the right, B2 is towards the left here. Okay, fine. So consider that. Okay, right, now coming back here, we can say Qm divided, yeah, Qm is taken outside. Now you have 1 divided by r minus L whole square plus 1 divided by r plus L the whole square, right? Okay, so now we have mu naught divided by 4 pi Qm, yeah, mu naught divided by 4 pi into Qm. Now you have r minus L the whole square into r plus L the whole square. Now you have r plus L the whole square plus r minus L the whole square. Okay, now upon simplification you should get, now I'll write the steps directly, please simplify. Okay, so upon simplification you should be getting 4RL by 4RL divided by r square minus L square the whole square. Okay, r square minus L square the whole square. Fine, so this is what we get. Now here comes the interesting point. Now you need to focus, you need to remember that here we did not make any approximations. Keeping this expression, the next step we will be going to do the approximation, right? Now those approximated formula, that is we keep saying that if the point is far away from the a magnet. Okay, so then we'll do some approximations. Those formulas will come in handy all the time, but you need to know the general formula also. That is what we are deriving right now. Okay, so mu naught divided by 4 pi and 4, right? So we can write it as 2 into 2 RL. Okay, so the whole thing divided by R square minus L square, the whole square. Now here we will define the magnetic moment of the bar magnet. Okay, so M is the magnetic moment, magnetic dipole moment of the bar magnet. Okay, so M, so how do we write? Pole strength multiplied by the separation between the poles. The separation between the poles we have taken as 2L, right? Okay, now keeping that thing in mind, now we can write mu naught divided by 4 pi. Now Qm into 2L, right? Yeah, I missed out Qm, I think here. Yeah, Qm is here. Yeah, so Qm into 2L. So Qm and 2L. So I'm getting it as M, right? So we can write it as 2M R whole thing divided by R square minus L square, the whole square. Okay, R square minus L square, the whole square. So this is your axial magnetic field. Okay, so I have introduced vector symbols here. That means the axial magnetic field and the magnetic moment both are in the same direction. Fine. Now here comes the approximation, which most of you know by now. So you can say if R is much greater than L, then this, with respect to the distance, right? So this magnet looks like a short bar magnet. Okay, so then you can say B axial will be mu naught divided by 4 pi. Then you have 2m r whole thing divided by, now this is r square whole square, so that would be r power 4 in the denominator. So finally you will end up getting B axial would be mu naught divided by 4 pi times 2m divided by r cube. So this is the expression what we got by comparing electric dipole with magnetic dipole. Now here is the thorough derivation. Okay, fine. Okay, now let us try to see the magnetic field at the equatorial point. Okay, so for north pole we'll associate a magnetic charge, positive magnetic charge. Now this will be a negative magnetic charge, let us say. Alright, now so here if I draw a perpendicular line, okay, so say this is the perpendicular line. Okay, right, now we just have to find out what will be the magnetic field at one of the equatorial points. Okay, so let us say this is the point P. Okay, this is the point P. Fine, so it would be better if I take the magnetic, yeah, so say north pole is towards the right and south pole is towards the left. Okay, so this is minus qm, this is plus qm. Okay, fine, because earlier we had taken the magnetic moment from, it is towards the right, correct, that is why. Fine, now magnetic moment vector. Okay, now let us try to see the magnetic field due to north pole and south pole. So the same thing whatever you have seen in your electrostatics. Okay, so say this is the separation between the north pole and south pole is 2L. Okay, so this length it would be L, and L from the center to north and center to south it would be L and L. Okay, right, now coming to the magnetic field due to the north pole, right, so it will be somewhat like this. So you can join a line here. So this is how the magnetic field will be due to the north pole, and due to the south pole, the magnetic field will be this way. Okay, so just draw the directions, right? So B1 it will be along the direction, along the line NP. Okay, so let us say this is B1. Now B2, okay, so B2 will be along the line PS. Okay, it will be along the line PS. Okay, right, fine. Okay, fine. Now here let us define this as the angle theta. Now this will be angle theta. Now if you draw the angular bisector of this line here, that is this line. Okay, so you will come to know that this line is parallel. Okay, so this green line, it is actually parallel to the bar magnet. Let us say that is the line joining North Pole and South Pole. Then these two angles will also turn out to be theta and theta. Okay, theta and theta, right? Now you have, if you resolve B1 and B2, see B1 and North Pole and South Pole, both of them are at equal distant, are equidistant from point P, right? So the magnitude of the magnetic field at P due to North Pole and due to South Pole, they are the same, but the directions are different. Okay, now if you resolve, right, if you resolve, you'll get something like this. So you'll get B1 sine theta, this is at point P I'm saying. Now this will be B2 sine theta. Now you have B1 cos theta this way, and you have B2 cos theta also this way. So these B1 sine theta and B2 sine theta, they will get cancelled. Okay, the reason is magnitude of B1 is equal to magnitude of B2. Why? The distance, right? The distance from P to North Pole and point P to South Pole, they are the same. That is the reason. Okay, so effectively you will be getting 2B. Okay, now let us get an expression for B1. Okay, so B1, this is due to North Pole, okay, and along the line NP. Okay, along the line NP. N is North Pole, the same point we are considering here. Now B2, this is due to South Pole. Okay, now this is along the line PS. Okay, along the line PS. Fine. Okay, now we know that the NP is equal to NS. Okay, if you use Pythagoras theorem, you will get to know that. Okay, yeah, so we need a reference for point P right from the magnet. So for that, let us call this yellow line, whatever I have drawn here, let us call it as R. Okay, so this is actually R, right? Now the distance PS and NP, so there will be square root of R square plus L square. Now this will also be square root of R square plus L square. Okay, right. Now NP is equal to NS, that will be equal to square root of R square plus L square. Yeah, this is right. Okay, now next what we'll do is consider B1, magnitude of B1, that will be equal to mu naught by 4 pi. Then this is due to the North Pole, right? So QM divided by, this is the distance squared. So this would be R square plus L square, the whole square, right? So this would be mu naught divided by 4 pi to QM divided by R square plus L square only. Okay, now B2 is due to the South Pole of the bar magnet. Okay, so that would be given by same thing, R square plus L square whole square. So you can see that the magnitude, right, the magnitude of B1 and B2 are same, right? So you can clearly see from this expression. So therefore, let us say the magnitude of B1 is equal to the magnitude of B2. Let us call it as B. Okay, B is, because since magnitudes are same, let us take it as B. Now you can say B1 cos theta is equal to B2 cos theta. Okay, now at point P, okay, so therefore at point P, the net magnetic field, okay, the net magnetic field is B1 cos theta plus B2 cos theta. Now we have assumed magnitude of B1 and B2 to be the same. That implies B cos theta plus B cos theta. So that would be equal to 2B cos theta. Okay, so here is your explanation for this. Here, as I told you, this B1 cos theta, B1 and B2 are same, right? B1 and B2 are same. So B1 cos theta and B2 cos theta, they'll add up because they are in the same direction. So the net magnetic field, right? So let us call it as BEQU. Okay, so you will get it as BEQU. Okay, so that will be towards left. Okay, now you can even compare the direction with the direction of the magnetic moment, right? Now the direction of magnetic moment is towards right. That will be given by qm into 2l. Okay, qm into 2l. Okay, so you can say BEQU, right? The equatorial magnetic field is in opposite direction to that of the magnetic moment of the bar magnet. Okay, so that will be our reference to convey information on the direction. Okay, right. So let us try to evaluate this 2b cos theta. Okay, so BEQU, okay, so that will be equal to equatorial, right? So EQU will use it for equilibrium. Let us say EQ. Okay, so that would be 2b cos theta. Now 2b was magnitude of b1 or b2, both are same, right? So mu naught divided by 4 pi. So this would be mu naught divided by 4 pi. Then you have qm divided by r square plus l square. Okay, so qm divided by r square plus l square times cos theta. Now from the diagram you can even extract cos theta. Now what is cos theta? Cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse. So L by root L square plus R square. Okay, fine. So this can be written as 2 mu naught divided by 4 pi into qm divided by R square plus L square. Now this is L divided by root R square plus L square. Now the next step what you can write is, see, 2L into qm. Okay, so that can be written as m. Okay, that can be written as m, 4 pi as it is. Okay, now here you have R square plus L square whole power 3 by 2. Okay, so this is your equatorial magnetic field. Fine. Now you can say if R is much greater than L. Okay, so if R is much greater than L, then you can say the equatorial magnetic field, right? So that would be equal to, now as you all know, we'll write it as mu naught divided by 4 pi into m whole thing divided by r cube only. Okay, so r cube only. Right? Here we'll do r square plus L square is approximately equal to r square. That is how we get this expression. Yeah, coming to the direction, see, here you need to consider a negative sign. Okay, so keep this thing in mind, this is important. Fine, so here also, so the negative sign tells you that equatorial magnetic field and the magnetic moment, they are in opposite direction. Okay, so this negative sign tells you that B, EQ and M are opposite in direction. Okay, now if you have learned this, if you are clear with this concept, then the next class we will be going to do something called as, we'll cover something called as deflection magnetometer. Okay, now for this deflection magnetometer we need these expressions. That is why I thought of solving this clearly again. Okay, fine. So let us continue in the next class.